I mean, we have added over the last year and a half an element into our work which is very focused on becoming trauma informed, trauma sensitive, and trauma responsive. And that is at the individual level, at the management level, program and facilitation. Everything we do in our communications needs to go through a trauma informed lens. And this is something we're also trying to institute into all of our leadership programs and as well into policies and procedures and management. I can say for me, it's very complicated, right? Some of the hardest days in the conflict, and I'm not the only one on staff who has either family in reserves or have been in reserves themselves, and Palestinians who have family who have been killed, displaced, who are scared for their lives. It's very complicated. Arrested, family members arrested, um, and what we do is hold space for it. Um, the day of the Bibas's funeral, we had a lot of meetings and things planned for that day, and none of the Israelis in here could function. And two of my staff came in and said maybe we should go home. I rolled out a yoga mat. We have Amal Tikva branded yoga mats. We sat and we breathed for we sat and breathed on the floor for 90 seconds. And then we cried for 4 minutes, 5 minutes. And one said, I can do it. I can keep working. And one said, I'm going to go home. And I said, I'm going to sit for another 30 minutes and just watch the funeral and then see how I feel. And just allowing that. One of my close mentors, Mary Fitzduff from Belfast, from Northern Ireland, she ran the Community Relations Council, which is a similar organization to Amal Tikva, in the 20 years leading up to the Good Friday Agreement. And she said, some days are just impossible. 24 hours crying and up again, 24 hours crying and up again. We were in Belfast a few weeks ago. She told me about one of the hardest days. She walked by City Hall. There was a bombing. She turned the corner to go keep doing her shopping, and there was a shooting. She stepped over soldiers who were uh, holding rifles on the ground, stepped over their legs. Hearing shooting, hearing bombing, I said, "What did you do?" She said, "I went about my shopping." And it sounded crazy to me, except what do we do? What do we do when there's, you know, terrible tragedies and there's violence and there's, people, and we order pizza and we feed our kids and we give them baths and we help them with their homework and we keep going 24 hours crying and up again. We just have to keep doing the best we can. In the beginning of the war, I told a lot of the CEOs that we work with, just give your staff space, give yourself space. If you're not the most functioning right now, just taking care of yourself, taking care of your team, just making sure that you're here in the long run is more important than being the most effective and efficient and productive, in this moment. This is a long haul, and that's really hard.